All right, ready to dive in. Today, we're all about the Red Howler monkey. Gonna get deep into some fascinating research on these noisy primates.
I think you'll be surprised by how much there is to learn about them. Yeah, they're definitely more than just a loud voice in the jungle.
Well, you really can't miss that call. What is it that makes their howl so powerful? I mean, they travel for miles, don't they?
That's right. They can travel up to 3 miles
Right.
through dense rainforest. It's amazing. The secret is a special adaptation, an enlarged hyoid bone.
Oh,
It
wow.
basically acts like a built-in amplifier in their throat.
Wow, so it's like nature's own sound system. So if I'm ever trekking through the Amazon and hear that, I know there's a Red Howler monkey party going on nearby.
Well, not quite a party, but they are highly social animals, that's for sure,
Yeah.
living in groups of 5 to 15 individuals. And usually a dominant male kind of leads the pack.
So like a hierarchy, sort of like a monkey high school, but with less drama, hopefully.
Well, there's definitely some competition going on, especially among the males. But overall, they're surprisingly laid back. Yeah, those howls are mainly for communication and marking their territory. It's their way of saying, hey, this is our turf to other groups.
That makes sense. Gotta let everyone know in such a vast rainforest. So speaking of that, where exactly can we find these Red Howler monkeys?
Their range stretches across several countries in South America. Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, Brazil, and Bolivia. But they prefer lush, vibrant forests, lots of trees, of course, for food and shelter. Tropical rainforests, cloud forests, areas near rivers. Think of those, those classic jungle scenes you see in documentaries.
So really true rainforest dwellers, and I imagine being up in the trees all the time, they must have some pretty impressive skills, acrobatic skills.
Absolutely. They're truly arboreal, meaning they spend almost their whole lives in the trees, and their prehensile tail is like their secret weapon. It acts as a fifth limb, allowing them to grip branches, maintain balance, and just swing through the forest with incredible agility.
So how long are we talking about here, that tail?
Their tails, they can grow up to 75 centimeters long. That's almost 30 inches.
Wow.
Longer than your arm, I bet.
You're probably right about that. It's amazing how they just, use it to navigate their whole world. Okay, so we've talked about the calls, amazing tails. What about their looks? What do these monkeys actually look like up close?
Well, the name's a bit of a giveaway. They have striking reddish-orange fur, although the shade can vary from monkey to monkey. And they're pretty robust, strong, and sturdy. The males are typically larger, weighing between 6 and 9 kilograms. That's roughly 13 to 20 pounds. Females are a bit smaller, but still got that same solid build.
They sound like they'd be just fascinating to observe in the wild.
Definitely captivating creatures. And what's even more fascinating is that despite their size and, those powerful howls, they spend a surprising amount of time just resting, like up to 80% of their day.
Wow. Talk about a relaxed lifestyle. What's their secret? Are they masters of meditation or something up in the trees?
Well, it all boils down to their diet. Red Howler monkeys are what we call folivorous, meaning they mainly eat leaves.
So like the ultimate vegetarians of the rainforest?
You could say that, but not just any leaves. They're actually quite picky, choosing young, tender leaves that are easier to digest and, full of nutrients. And here's where it gets really interesting. They have a multi-chambered stomach, specially designed to break down all that tough plant material.
Okay, now I'm picturing tiny little chefs in their stomachs, carefully chopping up leaves.
Not quite chefs, but they do have, an army of helpful bacteria in their guts. These bacteria ferment the leaves, breaking down that tough cellulose and, extracting as much energy as possible. Think of it like a natural composting system happening right inside their stomach.
So they've evolved this incredible system just to turn leaves into fuel. That's pretty amazing. And it makes me wonder, does this unique digestive system have anything to do with their, laid-back lifestyle?
It definitely plays a role. I mean, digesting all that tough plant matter, it takes time and energy. That's why they spend so much time resting.
Yeah.
They're conserving energy to fuel their specialized digestion.
It's incredible how everything's connected, from their diet to their behavior. This deep dive is already full of surprises. What else can you tell us about these fascinating primates?
Yeah, it's really incredible how their bodies are just, so perfectly adapted to that leafy diet. But it does make you wonder, with such specialized needs, how are they handling all the challenges that so many rainforest species are facing today?
That is a really important question. When we think about conservation, we really have to consider how an animal's unique adaptations, might make them more vulnerable to those changes in their environment.
Exactly. So what about the Red Howler monkey? I mean, what's the current state of their populations? Are they doing okay?
Well, the good news is they're currently listed as least concern by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN.
You think of the IUCN as, like a global authority that keeps track of the health of all the different species. So least concern means that right now their populations are relatively stable.
Okay. Well, that's a little bit of a relief, at least. But knowing all the threats that rainforests are facing all around the world, I imagine there's still reason to be concerned, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Even though they're not considered endangered right now, there is still some serious threats to their long-term survival.
Like what? What are the biggest challenges that they're facing?
Well, deforestation is a huge problem. As rainforests get cleared, for agriculture, logging, and development, it fragments their habitat,
Mm.
making it harder for them to find food, find mates. It's like, imagine their home being chopped up into smaller and smaller pieces.
Mm.
It's got to be tough to move around and maintain those healthy populations.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking to think about the impact that has not just on them, but on, so many species. Their whole way of life is tied to the rainforests.
Exactly. And there are other threats, too, like hunting and the illegal pet trade.
Oh, right.
Even though it's illegal in a lot of places, some people still hunt them for food or capture them to sell as pets.
So, really a multifaceted problem. What are some of the things that are being done to protect them? What can we do, to help ensure their future?
Well, there are a lot of organizations that are working really hard to protect rainforests
Yeah.
and species that depend on them, of course. Supporting those organizations through, donations or volunteering is a great way to get involved.
So it's about taking action, not just being aware of the problem.
Absolutely. And it's not just about, those large-scale efforts either. I mean, we can all make a difference, right, in our daily lives. Choosing sustainable products, reducing our carbon footprint, and advocating for those responsible land use practices, those individual actions can have a ripple effect.
It seems like, we've been talking about the red howler monkey, but these lessons really apply to so many species all over the world.
You've hit the nail on the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their story really highlights the interconnectedness of all living things. Protecting their habitat isn't just about saving the red howler monkey. It's about safeguarding that whole intricate web of life that keeps our planet, healthy and vibrant.
Yeah.
By protecting them, we're protecting countless other species that share that rainforest home. From, the tiniest insects to the largest predators.
It's that ripple effect again, right? One small action can have a much bigger impact than we realize.
Exactly. And speaking of impact, what I find particularly fascinating about the red howler monkey is
What's that? Well, I'm definitely curious. What is it?
their role in seed dispersal. It's really crucial for the whole rainforest ecosystem.
Oh, interesting.
See, a lot of those young leaves they eat, they have seeds in them.
Mm.
And guess what happens?
I'm going to guess those seeds don't get fully digested.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
pass right through their system and end up deposited on the rainforest floor,
Mm.
often far away from the parent tree. It's like a natural gardening service.
So they're not just eating machines, they're actually helping to plant the next generation of trees.
Precisely. Their movements and feeding habits contribute directly to the diversity and regeneration of the whole rainforest.
Wow.
It's really a beautiful example of how each species has this vital role in maintaining that whole balance of the ecosystem.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even a creature as, seemingly simple as a monkey can have such a profound impact on the environment. I have to admit, I had no idea just how complex and interconnected the rainforest really is.
It really is awe-inspiring, isn't it? There's so much going on beneath the surface, so many, intricate relationships that we're really just beginning to understand.
Yeah, it really makes you realize how much we still have to learn about the natural world.
And how important it is that we protect these, delicate ecosystems. We've talked about the threats, but it's also important to remember that there's hope. There are people out there who are dedicated to conservation, working tirelessly to protect these amazing creatures and their habitat.
And that each of us can play a part, no matter how small.
Exactly. By making conscious choices, in our daily lives and supporting those conservation efforts, we can help make sure that the red howler monkey and countless other species continue to thrive for, generations to come.
Well, this has been an incredible journey into the world of the red howler monkey. We started with that iconic howl and ended up exploring, their vital role in the entire rainforest ecosystem. I feel like I've gained a whole new appreciation for these fascinating creatures.
I'm so glad to hear that. It's been a pleasure sharing what I know with you.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's amazing what we can learn from just one species. Now imagine yourself standing in the heart of the Amazon, surrounded by lush greenery. The air is thick with humidity, and the sun is filtering through the canopy. Suddenly, a chorus of howls erupts, echoing through the trees. It's a powerful reminder of the beauty and, the fragility of our natural world. What will you do to help protect it?